And, hi, I'm starting at this time. Haha.
Oh my god, you did it. I'm so
I nailed
proud
it.
of you. Now what?
I never thought I'd get this far. Oh, this is the fruit of Grisaia.
It sure is. We're Otaku Tuesday.
Yes!
Oh my god, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Sounded like a dog hacked something up.
Aren't we all just...
No, that's deep.
We went to a festival, the Summer Zestival.
The festival for the restival.
And had a good time, and now we're back. Michiru's kind of having a problem, though.
Yeah, she's doing Michiru things. That's our Michiru.
She's so extra.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Michiru's shaved ice overdose led to nothing more than a diagnosis of moderate ice cream headache. After warming up, she was promptly released from the medical tent.
You call that moderate?
It's hard not to grumble about this constant parade of false alarms, but I guess that's sort of Michiru's identity, so it's hard to get that pissed off about it either.
Okay, I just tossed Makina in.
Yeah, thanks. I'm guessing she didn't give you any trouble?
Out like a light, the instant her head hit the pillow. Now take your pants off. The girl's still hugging that tuna fish man doll, you know? Drooling all over it and mumbling in her sleep. She must have been really happy.
Makina spent most of the night frolicking around at maximum intensity, but just as the end of the festival was approaching, as if her battery had run out of juice, the girl abruptly dozed off with a choco banana still dangling out of her mouth. Of course, that's common enough occurrence. Of course, happens to everyone. So nobody was particularly flustered. I hoisted Makina's limp body onto my back, and Amine proceeded to eat the rest of her banana with a great deal of unnecessary slurping and licking.
Stop watching so intently, then.
Everything delicious is shaped like a penis.
Do you know how many foods are shaped like dicks? The best kinds.
Come to think of it, the way Amine polished off a half-eaten snack covered in Makina's spit without even hesitating, you'd think she was really the girl's mother. Or maybe just a glutton to the core.
What was that?
Oh, sorry, I said the last part out loud. I'm talking to myself.
Well, more importantly, take a look at this.
Whoa!
Whoa, those are some boobs. I found something interesting in Makina's purse. She stole that guy's wallet.
Interesting.
See, they're the strips of paper she wrote her Tanabata wishes on.
Oh! Yeah, I remember this part too. We got pretty far in one episode, apparently.
Yes, we did. We must not have faffed about as much.
Amine retrieves the few brightly colored strips of paper from Makina's purse and hands them to me.
Those are wishes Makina wrote during the Tanabata festival last year, when we were visiting my grandma in Kyoto.
What's with this? She made 4 separate ones? Greedy kid. It is Makina we're talking about here. I can see her getting the idea that Tanabata is just Christmas and summer.
Is it not?
Decorating the tree and all. You know what? It's pretty much just Christmas and summer.
Hanging the Tanabata stockings.
Yeah.
Old jolly old Saint Bada.
Saint Bada bread. Don't tell me she hung up a whole list of wishes expecting Tanabata claws to make them happen with no effort whatsoever on her part.
This could exist. I don't know shit about Japan.
Up on the housetop.
Rendiru clothes. Actually, she made 5, but we told her her to only hang up the one she really wanted to come true, or the effect would get spread too thin. These are the ones she left behind.
Yeah. I turn over the strips of paper in my hand one by one, reading the wishes scrawled across them. No, they won't come true now. Infinite mountains of bread. I want to learn to ride a bike. I want a white puppy, and I want to play with fireworks.
So just by the end of this summer, she wants to be riding her bicycle, holding a puppy, and a sparkler in the other hand as she rides up a mountain of bread.
That sounds like the greatest dream ever.
My life is so awesome!
I don't know about this one with the bread, but the others are pretty respectable.
Don't you notice anything about those?
Like what?
Out of these 4 wishes, you made 3 come true, right?
Pretty awesome, yeah.
Everyone except for the white puppy.
What? White puppy.
Infinite bread isn't a dream now that she's learning to make her own, and she can ride a bicycle just fine now.
They're gonna come home and just gonna have a mountain of bread in the courtyard.
Yeah. I found this puppy. And the fireworks too. You did that with her when we all visited the beach together, remember? I definitely remember the beach episode.
Doc, you know what you got there? A smoothie? Now that you mention it.
Right? So in other words, all you have to do is buy her a white puppy, and you'll complete the set, and then you can leave.
And then I unlock something else?
Right, yeah.
Achievement? A dog, huh?
Yeah, she got that dog in her. I'm willing to put up half the money, you know. Oh, and I'll talk to the principal about permission, too. I know things about her that I can blackmail her with.
Well, that's not really...
What is it, then? Do you hate puppies?
Nobody hates
You
puppies.
stupid puppy hater?
Not really, but I decided not to own another dog.
Oh, sorry. Did you have a pet die when you were a kid?
They're needy? You can't tell what they're thinking, and that scares me a little bit.
I was just about to say, isn't Chandler afraid of dogs?
Yeah. Well, something like that.
I see. Guess I can't ask too much then, even though that's a pretty common thing. Most people have had a pet die in their life. They don't live as long as people.
Should probably try and get over that, but I'm not quite there yet. Sorry.
I know that feeling, though. I mean, no, I don't. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Going around granting all their wishes that easily might be a little too convenient, anyway.
By the way, what was Makina's wish this year?
Besides, if you do that, she'd totally have sex with you, and I'm gonna go get a dog. Goodness, what to do? Is it really okay to tell you that?
I'm not really trying to force it out of you.
Okay, well, you forced me.
You tied my hands.
No, it's not like I need to be secretive about it, but while we're on the subject, what do you think Makina's #1 wish was last year? The one she actually hung up on the bamboo?
No clue. I want huge tits, probably.
No, that was mine. And it came true, too. Not even close. She wrote, I want a papa.
That's something else.
I know, right? When I saw that, I couldn't help crying a little. But you know, looking back on it now, that she's got her hands on a father named Kazumi Yuuji, Juicy Yuuji, maybe Tanabata wishes aren't just for show after all, you know?
So I went and made 20 yesterday. I guess.
I really hope Tanabata Claus says I'm a good girl. Anyway, this is Makina's wish from this year.
He does every time when I sit on his lap. Wait, why do you have that?
He does always smell like smoking and drinking, though. The girl messed up on this one. We hung the one she rewrote on a little bamboo tree on the veranda, then burned it like we're supposed to.
Let's see. The slip of paper I accept from Amane has 4 words scrawled unsteadily across it.
Hey, your mom gay.
I got him. Stay with Oni-chan forever. Forever. I see, misspelled. Forever, huh?
And back during Tanabata, you were still her big brother.
In other words, she wished to be with me forever.
Yep. How do you like them apples? Feel a little happy?
Well, I guess.
You want me to check? Are you embarrassed? Oh, it's so cute.
To be certain, the way Makina's taken to me inspires an awkward variety of happiness. But on the other hand, I find myself bumping right back up against the crucial question. Just how long will I really be able to stay with her? Well, I intend to be around for her as much as I can.
Yeah, try your best. I'm sure you came to this school carrying lots of baggage of your own, but for as long as you're here, at least, play along with her. Make-believe game, okay?
Sounds about right. I did a whole route about doing a make-believe game.
Yeah. It's really healthy to just, feed into their neuroses.
Averting my eyes from Amane's steady gaze, I reflexively glance into the corner of my room at the black cell phone I carry for work. Part of that baggage I'm still forced to lug around. I'm struck by the sudden urge to snap that damn thing in half, but it's a Nokia. I know perfectly well that smashing a phone isn't going to break the chains around my neck. I don't know how long I'll be able to stay here. I could be gone tomorrow. But still, as long as I'm in this school, I think I'll do what I can.
This what?
This shul.
Thank you. Whew. We did it.
That's where we must have ended.
It has to be. Yep, because this is new.
Yay! It was back in elementary school that I first realized I didn't hate running.
Okay, I'm already bored of this.
This discovery wasn't prompted by anything special. I had no friends back then, so
No.
I'd often spend my afternoons hurling rocks into the nearby river, killing time until my mom got back from her job in the city. Not the most stimulating activity, granted, but sometimes I'd whip it hard enough and hit a seagull. We had practically no money, and I wasn't a very creative kid. Anyway, early one evening, I was alone at the riverbank playing my usual slightly better than nothing game, hurling flat stones along the surface of the water to see how many times they'd skip. But that day I noticed a man running along the dirt path that followed the course of the river. Well, that's a slightly misleading way to put it. I had actually noticed the guy a long time ago, since he'd ran that route along the river every single day.
It's Forrest Gump running across the country. You're one of the people that just followed him.
Trying to hit him with a rock. We'd never so much as exchanged a word, but he'd always pass by at exactly the same time, even on rainy or blustery days. That was the extent of my connection with the guy. Sure, he wasn't any more interested in me.
I hope not.
At most, he was probably vaguely aware of some weird kid who was always out in the grass throwing rocks into the river. That day, a bit of idle speculation ran through my head. That guy must be an athlete. Otherwise, why would you make yourself miserable by running every single day? Maybe he was even a pro of some sort. When you're a pro athlete, keeping yourself in shape's probably another part of the job. And why would you bother running if it wasn't your job? I'm bored.
Yeah, I was going to say you're boring yourself.
I sure couldn't see anything fun about it. But when I actually thought it over, I realized that I'd never really gone on a long-distance run of my own free will. I didn't really have any reason to, and I'd never felt particularly interested in trying. Wasn't it a little messed up to decide something I'd never even tried was horrible? Maybe there's something fun about it, even though I wasn't aware of it yet.
Okay, Mom, I will try broccoli.
Wow, it's good, especially with cheese.
Right?
It was basically just a whim, but it's not like the rock skipping was doing much for me. I started running after shul, jogging along with my knapsack on my back. 3 kilos at first, and then 5, and then 10.
He just refuses to admit that he keeps a fanny pack.
Mm-hmm.
It's a satchel.
Before
It's an arms-free belt satchel or whatever.
Yeah. Before long, running all the way to my mom's workplace became my daily routine. At first, I wouldn't make it over there until after her shift ended, so I'd usually meet her halfway as she rode home on her bicycle. Things went on like that for maybe half a year, I guess. Little by little, the distance I covered before meeting my mom grew longer, and eventually I managed to get her workplace before she even left. Because I can increase my speed by double, apparently.
You're right.
When she came out that first evening to find me waiting by her bicycle in the parking lot, Mom's eyes went wide with surprise.
Oh my God, what are you doing here? Don't come to my work. She's actually working the corner.
Mm-hmm. Praising me with the words, "You really are a fast runner, Yuuji." She glanced down at my beat-up old sneakers, and despite our extremely meager family finances, she bought me a new pair of running shoes.
Pana bought a Christmas shoes.
In the flush of that success, I realized that I actually kind of enjoyed running, and I learned that people can't really know something until they experience it.
Yeah. You won't know if you like it until you try it, Eric.
You're right, I do like broccoli.
Exactly.
Now I understood. That man who was always passing me by must have had some big goal of his own. He was also running to his mom. His running must have been his patient. Steady way of approaching that objective. I didn't have any evidence, but it felt like the answer, so I accepted it as truth.
It's me, so obviously I'm right.
If my sister were still alive, I could definitely beat her in a race now. That sort of childish self-esteem was probably something I needed badly back then.
If only she had ran instead of been on that bus.
Then she too would be here with me.
And not in
what?
someone's stomach or whatever the fuck happened.
You can never truly know something until you try it. That man by the river taught me that lesson, and in turn I want to pass it on to Makina. Hey, Makina. The ideal here would
But
be...
he says the exact same thing.
Yeah. I once sat by the river.
Oh my God.
I don't know, teaching her the joy of music or something? The hills are
I
alive?
was going to do the exact same thing.
If I had the talent, I'd gladly play an instrument or sing for her.
You see those hills out there? Are they alive with the sound of music? Nah, there's death in them hills.
Yeah, they have eyes. But like I mentioned, I'm a little weak in the creative area. And honestly speaking, I'd feel more comfortable starting off by introducing her to things that lie within the field of my expertise. And the field of my expertise happens to be...
Boobies!
Boobies? What's the matter, maggot? Your movements are getting sloppier and sloppier.
I'm squirming as quick as I can.
Oh, yes, sir! Makina's been tagging along on my daily running for several weeks now. Lately, she started to practice in a little light leg exercise afterwards as well. While I'm on my own, that usually just means conventional calisthenics and strength training. But I came to realize that Makina's muscles are significantly underdeveloped for a girl her age. Thinking that lack of physical endurance might have something to do with her tendency to nod off in the middle of conversations,
Because I'm not boring or anything.
I started her on static isometrics, then worked up to a menu featuring more demanding dynamic exercise. I actually taught the girl some very simple self-defense principles a while ago, but I'm taking this opportunity to pass on some basic martial arts.
Unagi.
Starting with the fundamentals, progressing to specialized techniques aimed at disarming an opponent with a knife and such.
Danger!
And finally, more aggressive skills. With the disclaimer, use these to create yourself an opportunity to run. Unagi! At first...
I love unagi. It's my favorite sushi.
Yeah. Salmon skin roll. At first, I wasn't taking the martial arts element particularly seriously. I'd looked at the lessons more or less as a substitute for playing around with her. But before I knew it, Makina was moving in ways that could sometimes startle even me. I've created a monster!
Undulating so weirdly.
You really can't underestimate this one. Yeah! Shout from the pit of your stomach. Forcing the air out of your lungs helps push your brain into a state of tension, increasing your reaction time and the burst power of your muscles. Makina's following the fundamentals just as I told her, and she's generally quick on the uptake. Her single largest problem continues to be the complete lack of endurance. Overall, the girl's come a long way in a short time. You're approaching inefficiently. Keep your movements compact. Don't give your opponent a chance to counterattack. Hoo-ah!
Can't I just have a gun?
Yeah, here you go.
Yay, America!
When another shout of determination with Makina ducks her head and leaps forward, expending all her remaining stamina on one powerful tackle. Are
you okay?
Yeah, I'm great. Good. Just as I brace myself to block, the girl seems to disappear. It's that so-called slide dash of hers again.
Nothing personal, kid.
Where did she even pick this one up? Wherever it came from, she's good at it. The movement managed to surprise me, but that's no mean feat for an amateur. But that said, not good enough.
She's a rival assassin.
The abrupt shift downward while maintaining her momentum was magnificent. Up until the moment her arms wrapped around my knees, Makina gets perfect marks, but sadly, her lower body's just too weak to bring me down.
It's like my favorite movie, Ballistics, X versus Sever.
All right.
If anyone knows that movie at all, I will be surprised. It was, I think it was Lucy Liu and Antonio Banderas.
Okay.
X and Sever were their like code names, I believe.
All right.
It was like a really crappy like post-Matrix. Let's do everything like the Matrix.
To the girl's credit, that doesn't keep her from trying. Her face bright red from exertion, as she strains against my waist, raising a fierce battle cry.
Oop, pooped him.
I pooped a little. Seizing initiative doesn't mean you've won. Also, brute force isn't the only way to take down an opponent. Timing and balance are really what matters. Just poke the back of my knee. Make use of everything you can. That's the only way you're ever going to bring your enemies down.
I'm a little boy furious.
I reach down, grab Makina's elbows, and lightly push my thumbs down against her ulnar nerves.
Oh, my ulnar nerves.
Oh, my ulnars! The impact to her funny bones, for you lamans, sending jolts of numbness running through both arms. Makina abruptly slackens her stubborn grip around my legs. Okay, then. My turn now.
Fucking choke slams
Yeah.
her.
Suplex. Startled by the threat and her vulnerable position, Makina instinctively tries to put distance between us.
That's so rare that you get to see like the actual like
The
flare
skirt part. Yeah.
I love it.
She's
and she got
adorbs.
the mismatched socks. I'm gonna find that out.
Definite mistake. Anticipating her attempt to back away, I follow smoothly, and then give the girl a light push to the upper body, using the force of her retreat against her. With very little effort on my part, she's completely destabilized. What? Sensing her imminent fall, Makina desperately braces her legs to resist the pull of gravity. Just as she struggles to right herself, I sharply yank the girl toward me, again exploiting her own momentum. And in one smooth movement, I've twisted her body around and wrenched up her arm behind her back. Owie! You're tearing it off! You understand now? If you're lacking in power, just use your opponents instead. The stronger they are, the better it works. Once you've mastered this, the title of champion's yours for the taking.
People walking by the schoolyard just see like someone who looks like a grown man beating the fuck out of a 12-year-old.
Good thing there's walls.
Yeah.
No, sounds good in theory, you know, but it just ain't that easy in the real world. I'm telling you, this isn't just theorizing. In the words of the immortal Mr. Lee,
Verily?
Don't think, feel, sense the flow and all that.
Generally?
Yes.
Yay, he finally taught her.
It's working.
Gonna get that germ out of you yet.
You're sure making some unreasonable demands of a girl widely renowned from the tender age as the invincibly insensitive imp. You know? Listen up, Makina. Thinking before you move slows you down, and more often than not, things won't go the way you plan anyway. Incidentally, do you understand how I was able to break your grapple so easily just now?
Yeah, you're like 4 times bigger.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you sort of made my elbow go all tingly, so I couldn't help loosening my grip, I guess. You weren't planning to loosen your grip, but you ended up letting go anyway. That's completely natural. When they touch a hot stove, almost anyone will jerk back their hand before they even process what's happening. It's an instantaneous reflex action. Even when you're actually trying to touch the stove, you'll instinctively withdraw your hand. The part of your brain that controls conscious thought isn't the same as the part that optimizes twitch reactions. Like poggers.
Subscribe now to get more.
Learn to exploit those involuntary reflexes, and you'll be able to control most people's actions without the need for overwhelming force.
Keck W.
No! Now that you mention it, there was an article on brain structure in Junior Science this month that mentioned something all about that.
I wrote that article.
Yeah, I read that one too. The main feature in that issue was pretty interesting as well as the centerfold.
I was gonna say the exact same thing.
The one where they built that simulation of a brain and made the computer talk about its preferences, right? I thought that was cool too. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of preferences, you always use
girls or guys.
You always use the same move when you're trying to land a tackle. You know that? The predictability makes it easier to deal with. Ideally, you should be mixing things up, not just sticking with that one style you like best.
Well, ideally, I'm only fighting someone once.
From now on, let's practice moves you're weaker at and add a little variation to your repertoire. No, like using chopsticks with your left hand to train the right side of your brain? That's pretty interesting. I like that.
I usually just give up and use a fork.
Human beings are creatures of infinite potential, but it seems like there's still a great deal left to teach you. Yes, sir. Raise me good and proper, if you please. Well, learning the theory is important and all, but it's not much good without a foundation of basic physical fitness. It's what we really need to focus on right now, getting you swole.
Oh, she's gonna like show up one time and be like fucking gigantic.
Yeah.
Look like Larry the Crab.
Makina has surprising agility and burst power. She can handle anaerobic exercise well, but endurance-based cardio seems to be a real issue.
Now, how would you work on that?
Endurance-based cardio? Despite her
That's a thinker.
Despite her fundamentally weak muscles, the girl seems to have a strong heart that pumps a good deal of blood with every beat.
That's why she's so warm all the time. She's got an enlarged heart.
As a result, her resting heartbeat's probably fairly low. Maybe those sudden bursts of sleep are the result of brief dips into outright bradycardia.
Bradycardia.
Sure. Is that where you become a good football player?
Yes.
If your circulatory system has something to do with that borderline narcolepsy of yours.
That's your veins aren't letting enough blood flow.
Oh, okay.
Like slows your blood
Like where you
flow.
cold fingertips and whatnot.
Yeah, it makes your energy levels really shitty.
Developing your muscles might actually reduce the symptoms somewhat. Had to stretch my legs. No, I don't know. Doctors said it's a reaction to excessive stress or something. Although, frankly, that's probably just the default diagnosis when they don't have a friggin' clue. In any case, 9 times out of 10, someone who's in poor shape can improve their condition dramatically just by exercising, eating right, and getting enough sleep.
Yeah, but that's hard. Video games and food.
The best. Back in my old school, they were great believers in the intrinsic resilience of the human body. Go run it off was the extent of the medical advice you could expect if you were stupid enough to tell an instructor you'd caught a cold.
Also, I had a girlfriend there, I swear.
But if I start eating too much, my jelly belly might become chronic, you know? And that would be hella traumatic. Traumatic? What's so bad about getting a little rounder? Kids are cuter when they have a little meat on their bones.
Watch your words here.
Okay, so I caught this nasty cold last year, right? Amani took me to the hospital and everything. And you know what? We got this total hottie 20-something doctor, and he's all, okay then, can you show me your stomach? So I spread my legs wide, and he gave me a lollipop. So I confidently thrust out my jelly belly with a little wiggle for good measure, and McDreamy over there with the stethoscope turns his face to one side and goes, snort, excuse me. The jerk friggin' sniggered at me.
That's why you always go for McSteamy, not McDreamy.
Are you sure you weren't just watching House or whatever the hell that is?
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy? I don't know.
I've never watched Grey's Anatomy out of spite because they stole so much shit from Scrubs.
Naturally, I get slightly pissed off and ask the punk if he's picking a fight. But then Amani smacks me upside the head from behind, so I make this little oops sound, and he ends up bursting out laughing. Forget that guy. Seriously. Stupid.
Only dated him for like a month after that.
Herm. I doubt a doctor who can't even discern the essence of your cuteness could possibly make an accurate diagnosis. I know, right? Exactly my thought on the matter. You can always tell a really excellent doctor by the ability to admit when they don't understand what they don't understand. Or so someone or other told me back in the day, probably a doctor. That said, I can't deny the excess flab mainly gets in the way. What, are we talking about Amani's tits now? I got plenty of stories.
Oh yeah? You got any drawings?
Good example. I mean, we've seen them quite a few times.
Of course.
I
Doesn't mean I want to stop. I've seen lots of them over the years. Doesn't mean I
right. Don't want to see them again.
Get just as excited. Yeah.
I mean, a little extra fat at the chest and hips is a necessary evil for women.
Evil.
But those things are going to be real nuisance when the girl goes golfing.
Fucking Yuuji, tomboy lover.
Yeah.
Femboy lover.
How about we just never golf? But what if a robber comes up? That's why you need to learn to golf.
Yeah.
Personally, as long as we don't get into whack territory, I think rounding out a little more would only add to Makina's niche appeal. But come to think of it, I always did prefer the bumblebee-like curves of a J2M Raiden to the pencil-thin C6N Scion.
Shut up.
Well, I guess that's not particularly relevant. You're not a tank girl. Whoa! Anyway, for the moment, let's just try to avoid restricting your diet and focus on improving your body's basal metabolic rate. But no matter how much we speed up her metabolism, I doubt this shrimp's capable of burning 3,500 calories a day like a typical company employee. Guess I'll have to figure out a suitable training menu with Mess Sergeant Amane. Just as I'm stroking my chin with a thoughtful my ruminations are interrupted by the shrill squawking of Makina's digital pet.
Oh my god, your herm was interrupted?
It still counts. I got it fully out. should I just put up a
What?
half herm for that one?
No, God.
It's a daily occurrence at this point, but I can.
Stop paying attention. All of a sudden, you're saying you've got it fully out.
It's only half out.
Yeah.
I can still feel my blood pressure rising. Oh, Schwa! An enemy! Chucks it. No! Steve! Can't say I've ever heard a raid siren this idiotic. It's just your usual 7:30 alarm. We'll conclude our training here for today. Oh, thank you very much, sir! Indeed. Take a quick shower before you go to work, okay? Huh? Actually, I got today off from my job.
Okay, well, go take a shower anyway, because you smell.
How? I quit!
Yeah, I got all the days off.
That's so. Well, I guess a little R&R is necessary every once in a while.
Reading Rainbow?
Right you are, Papa. So let's spend the whole day playing. I don't mind, but what sort of playing did you have in mind specifically?
Rock band.
Sweet. Anything's fine, you know. That's actually the most troublesome possible answer. But you're really saying the exact same thing to Amini, you know?
I know, but when I say I don't care, I actually will do whatever.
Yeah.
When you say it, and then I suggest something, you go, no.
Yeah, you're right. Am I really?
So you're supposed to do that trick where you say, guess what I picked for us to do, and then you just say yes, what the first thing I said.
Think about it. Amini's usually the one going, "Hey, Yuuji, what do you want for dinner tonight?"
You want to snack on these titties?
And you always give her that totally apathetic, "whatever's fine," right? Well, I see. Looking at it from that angle, I feel like I've gained a little insight into the menu-related suffering Amine must endure on a daily basis. But still, you really want me to decide? Girls at this age are difficult to figure out, especially for men like me. To be honest, I can't even begin to guess what sort of playing Makina would actually enjoy.
I don't know. Her and Sachi are doing weird word games all the time.
Yeah, a board game? Anything?
Yeah.
Probably. Oh, wait a second. That's an idea. Maybe it's about time I gave you that.
Are you going to say your penis? My penis?
You, what? You got something for me? All right. You've been working hard lately, Makina. I'm impressed. In fact, I think a reward is warranted. Accordingly, I will now bestow you with a splendid present.
I got this dog a week ago, and I was waiting for the perfect time. I mean, I got you a dead dog.
Yeah. Whoa, what? No, I'm hella looking forward to this. That said, I'm not exactly confident this sort of present would particularly appeal to your average adolescent girl. It's not a puppy, then.
No, didn't he get like a thing? He got like a box or something?
A box. I don't know.
Am I thinking of something else? I thought he got like... Oh god, what was it? Yeah, no, he already gave that to her. Never mind. The scope, the sniper scope.
Oh, yeah, right.
Hey, Samsung, have you seen Yuuji and Makina? It's lunchtime soon, and I can't find either of them. What do I sound like?
Does anybody know my name? We don't have time for that. I'm afraid I haven't seen them myself. When was the last time you spoke? When was the last time I spoke?
Right? They came back to eat breakfast this morning, but the minute they finished eating, they both vanished again. I wonder where they went. Are they ghosts?
They were here in the morning, yes? A few hours' absence is hardly anything to get worked up about. Also, if she's with Kazumi-san, I don't think you need to be too worried.
I mean, depending on what I'm worried about. Well, you're probably right about that, but those two have been acting a little strange lately, you know?
Yes, but we all voted that we accept this. What do you mean by strange?
Yeah, but I figured I was gonna butt in constantly by being the mom, so...
Could you be more specific?
The two of them seem to be doing something secretly behind my back, and they just won't tell me anything about it.
Oh, so they're leaving you out. Is that what this is about?
Don't say stuff like that. Now I'm feeling a little depressed.
If you're that curious about Irisu-san's activities, why not read her diary? She still writes a daily entry to submit to the principal, doesn't she?
I did read it, but Hey, Subaru, do you know what a traitan is?
Traitan? No, I'm not familiar with the term. Was that in Irisu-san's diary?
Yeah, she wrote today I played traitan with Papa. It was totally fun, or something like that.
Traitan?
Tetris? I have no idea.
Traitan. Just from the sound of the word, you'd think it was a character from some children's television program.
Every time you say traitan in that voice, do that again.
Traitan.
You sound like a Pokedex.
Yeah.
Traitan.
Or something of the sort. Traitan, a water type.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought so too. But there was also this weird drawing of some pink animal in her diary, you know? Like an anteater or maybe a hippo. It was seriously bizarre.
Trying to figure out what they're playing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Hungry hippos? Perhaps it's best to not overthink this. It's not like you have any reason to believe they're doing something problematic, do you?
Well, sure, that's true, but the way they're keeping it secret kind of bugs me. I hope they're not getting up to any funny business.
Funny business.
You know, games that involve poking hard sticks into wet holes or something like that.
Oh, I love that game.
Kerplunk?
What on earth are you saying? I won't deny Kazumi-kun's behavior has some distinctly abnormal aspects, but he's surprisingly sincere by nature. Why not show a little more trust in...
Oh, I just got laid! Damn it.
Ah!
Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Did you just think of something?
Sega Saturn.
Thank you.
Well, it might have to do with this whatsoever. Nothing to do. Sorry, I don't know, whatever. But Kazumi-kun stopped by my room the other day and used my personal computer to order some sort of toy over the internet. Like you often do.
A toy? Yeah, I forgot to delete my history last time, so I already looked.
I ordered one too. He was shrewd enough to clear the history, so I don't know what exactly he bought. But he was browsing the websites of several major hobby shops, so I assume it was something of the sort.
It was Catan. Traitan.
Yeah.
Oh, now that you mention it, Yuuji had a cash-on-delivery package arrive the other day. I wonder if the receipt's still in the trash can.
I understand that you're worried about Irisu-san, but I can't say I approve of meddling in other people's private hobbies. Now go read her diary.
I was gonna say that, right? Okay, I won't. No, go do it. Just,
Yeah.
I want to pretend like I have the moral high ground. Come on, though. How can you not be curious?
Well, I do understand your feelings. Nahoy! Yummy! I'm hungry, hombre! Is lunch ready yet? Speak of the devil. Sounds as though they've returned. Rather than driving yourself mad with speculation, why not just ask those two directly?
Will they even tell me?
I'm afraid I can't guarantee that much. Good luck to you, Suo-san. See, I can say your name, bitch.
Shut up.
Nomani! Is the curry ready?
Yes, just as ordered. We've got some curry for lunch today. I made some tasty prawns, too. Get 'em while they're deep fried.
Did we ever have Salisbury steak from Michiru?
I mean, that was like a previous... I don't think she did it again. They were just talking about how useless she is again.
Yeah, hey! Nomani, you're the best!
Like every fourth chapter is a... Michiru is a useless person chapter.
Michiru bashing chapter.
Makina, you're kind of covered in mud. Wait, hold on. Are you bleeding?
It's from all the Traitan! Whoa! Yeah, well, Papa kept poking me with a hard stick, right in my wet hole. I got a few scrapes here and there.
Yuuji! Excuse me, Yuuji!
Yes? No need to bellow, woman. People might get the idea you're prone to hysterical overreaction.
Excuse me. Makina's injured, you know. What do you have to say for yourself?
Yeah, she did get a few bumps and scrapes out there. Nothing a stiff upper lip can't fix.
How is that going to fix anything? What were you doing out there?
You're overreacting something fierce, Amani. I'm a kid, so skinning an ear or two on the playground is par for the course. You're right, you know.
You're not exactly a kid in terms of age, you know.
Thanks for clarifying.
So you should probably have less of a reaction then.
Well, I'll admit that I could have been a little more careful, but try to think of injuries like this as within the normal range of variation.
Look, I don't want to treat her like a hothouse flower either, but even a small cut can lead to tetanus or sepsis, you know? Anus. Sorry.
I did have her wash them out with tap water, but you're right. Disinfection's important too. Sorry about that. 66 years have passed since the end of the war, but its impact still lingers. It's said that those who lived through those painful years are often overprotective towards their grandchildren. Many old Japanese endured miserable food shortages in their childhood. Many watched wounded friends die for lack of basic treatment. Spurred by a fierce desire to protect their descendants from such misery, they sneak perfectly well-fed little boys and girls extra treats on top of their school lunches, ultimately leaving them plump and spoiled. I can't let them go hungry. I can't let some trivial scrape end up killing her. The sentiment's understandable, but the more you protect a human being, the weaker they become. As an ambitious, commissioned officer observed after returning alive from the South, sometimes the bite of winter is pleasant in its own way. And by the same token, occasionally experiencing the harshness of the world can teach us compassion, help us find real strength. Nominee! Seconds!
That's fine, but you sure are eating a lot lately. Don't tell me your appetite center's malfunctioning again.
That's called my tummy. The girl's been working part-time and training with me lately, so it makes sense she'd work up an appetite. Pushing your body spurs the appetite. At my previous school, even I used to supplement the 3 meals a day we got in the dorm using my own money. And among my classmates, there were guys who'd wolf down 3 huge Swiss rolls from the convenience store and call it a light snack.
Here you go, Makina. Your second helping.
Oh, yes, I'm gonna snarf something fierce. Thank you kindly, boss. Speaking of, there was a sandwich shop literally called Snarfin' Sandwich.
Oh my god.
In St. Louis.
Snarf.
Snarfin' Sandwich. I was like, oh my god. But seriously, even the curry has pumpkin in it.
How many times do I have to tell you? Pumpkin was on sale, so I bought a bunch of them. Pumpkins are crazy rich in vitamins. You gotta have B1 if you want to turn those carbohydrates into energy efficiently, right?
True enough. Your nutritional wisdom continues to impress me, Amane.
I know, right? Makina's been losing a little flab off that jelly belly lately thanks to my expert management of her diet, you know?
And probably all that insane training we're doing.
Yeah.
Don't be ridiculous. That's clearly the result of the strength training we started recently.
Strength training? You serious? Makina can't stand exercise.
Have you not been paying attention to what we've been doing for like a month?
No, neither of you told her.
I guess that's true. I thought you were just doing it out in the courtyard.
That's what Traitan was.
Traitan?
I don't know.
I've devised a routine that isn't too onerous. She's mostly just repeating a few sets of static exercises that effectively work the muscles in a fairly short period of time.
I'm not sure I really follow, but I guess this is what you two keep slinking off to do behind my back. Well, that and sex.
Seriously, all you have to do is check behind the blowjob bush.
That's my blowjob bush.
Our main focus has been on strengthening the inner muscles. But
I thought you shaved.
We're gradually moving toward toughening the outer ones as well. That's probably why she's looking a little slimmer around the waist.
Anyway, the training is fine and all, but for some reason, every single time you two go outside to play, Makina comes back with a fresh set of bruises and scrapes. What are you even doing out there?
I don't know, we're like we're just doing a montage, a Rocky montage, so the conversation that we're having now isn't part of it. It's not even focused on it.
Like we're like in between the dun da 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 and the dun dun da.
Yeah, it was a very crucial part. Kind of difficult to summarize, actually. Well, you know, tree climbing and stuff. Like, holding around on the ground, playing leapfrog, sorta. Some hide and seek.
Wait a second, go back to the leapfrog thing?
Yeah, playing leapfrog.
Hey,
You know?
I get down on all fours. Okay, stop.
Oh, and swinging around sticks, too. Kinda. He has the stick. I have the wet hole. I still don't understand this game.
Is this sex or not? I don't know.
We're playing these sorts of games, you know?
What the heck is that? It all sounds like stuff that appeals to, like, 10-year-old boys.
It's pretty freaking fun. Papa promised to play with me this afternoon, too, you know? You want to join in, Amity?
Thanks, but I think I'm good. Rolling around in dirt under the blazing sun kind of lost its appeal to me a while ago.
No, yeah? Well, that sucks.
Well, you know, you do it in a giant hole next to the wreckage and
Yeah.
dead bodies and... Never mind.
Anywho, thanks for the grub. Bub.
Huh? Wait, Makina, are you already done eating?
Yeah, it was hella tasty. Come on, Papa, let's go play.
What? Hold on just 1 second. Before you start playing again, go take a bath and change out of those filthy clothes so you can get them dirty again.
Yeah, what? They're just gonna get dirty again. You know?
I don't care. Take a bath anyway. Papa's not gonna like you if you stink of sweat, you know? Actually, shut up.
No. Alright then. Papa, wanna come in with me?
Papa and I have a little something to discuss, and he's supposed to bathe with me. Go in by yourself this time, alright?
This time? Yes! May I help you, ma'am? What's all this then? She went out of her way to drive off Makina before starting the conversation, which would mean, well, she's probably angry.
She's not eating a salad, though, so I think I'm okay. Alright then, Yuuji-han. Mind giving me a little of your time?
Why the Kyoto dialect?
You got other things to worry about right now, friend. Go ahead and make yourself comfortable.
Oh, God. I'm already sitting, actually. From the tone of her voice and sounding like Sachi and all. I guess she...
Kinda, it's a little more Cajun.
Yeah. She might be asking me to sit on my heels. As a precautionary measure, I straighten my posture.
Alright now, child. Well,
Sorry, what's that supposed to mean? Can you at least tell me what we're talking about?
what are you two really doing behind my back? I'm not gonna be angry as long as you're honest, okay?
I'm not particularly hiding anything from you. It's just the usual Army Rangers game. You know, trade hand.
Really? You're not playing any funny games with her, are you?
What's this funny game supposed to be? We're not playing Uno. I couldn't think of a funny game. What's a funny game? Pie in the face.
Yeah, there you go. The 10,000 Russian roulette games that came out a couple years ago.
Yeah. Pie in the face is... You know what? Never mind. No need to worry. No need to worry. We haven't done anything dangerous, like rappelling yet.
Did you just say yet?
Look, I'm being very cautious about her safety.
I wear a condom every time. I mean, before you came along, Makina used to spend her time playing with dolls all by herself, and she had a blue crayfish that I guess is just dead now? I don't know.
Yeah.
Compared to that, it's good to see her getting some fresh air and exercise. But try to make sure she stays in one piece, alright?
Yeah, understood.
Oh, and on that note, you just bought Makina some weird toy, didn't you?
What are you talking about?
Playing dumb won't do you any good. You borrowed Sheva's computer to order something on the web, right? Look at this.
Amine thrust out a small slip of paper in vaguely accusatory fashion.
There's gum in this.
With a sinking feeling in the pit. Where else was I supposed to put it? The pit of my stomach, I recognized the receipt as the delivery man left on my bubble wrap package the other day. He said it would be discreet.
Don't me. This was in the trash bin over there. What on earth are you buying her that cost 80,000 yen?
An iPad. Ah, right. I thought Makina could use an Amati violin, so...
Don't lie to me. Why would a violin need that big a case?
It's a big violin.
Okay, it's a cello.
Yeah. You saw the case?
Well, yeah, but it was locked, so I couldn't open it. And my screwdriver broke. What's inside that thing?
Herm. How can I explain this? I guess you could call it an educational toy. Makina needs to develop her talents. Anyway, it's nothing too weird. You don't need to worry about it.
Did he buy her a sniper rifle?
Probably
You're just making me more
gun
suspicious. What is this thing?
of some sort. I am not going to tell you that.
Oh, something I can't know about, huh?
It's not anything I need to keep secret, and there aren't any legal issues either. I just don't think you'd understand right now. It's the only reason I'm not telling you. Until Makina's talent really flowers, to the point where I decide the girl should actually pursue this going forward. I'm not going to let you interfere. Even if you catch on, I'd appreciate it if you pretended otherwise.
Answer me just one question. It's not anything seriously dangerous, is it?
I'll guarantee that much.
Alright then, fine. That works. I'll keep my mouth shut, but in exchange, you better make sure you keep her in one piece.
Understood.
Oh, that's right. There's one more thing I wanted to ask you about.
Which is?
What's a tsundere?
Come on, everyone knows what that is.
Oh, yeah, me too. Sorry, I was just kidding. Take a look here, will you?
What's this?
It's Makina's diary. See this right here? She wrote, "Today I played Traitan with Papa." But what's that Traitan thing?
It's, well, you know.
Looking at the picture, it seems like she was trying to draw some weird little pink animal. Is this Traitan? That's a vagina.
That's... I can't tell her that Traitan is Makina's abbreviation for training Tonto. That's just not an option. A training Tonto, as you might guess, is just a mock short sword without an edge. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Helps you practice one of the most indispensable jungle warfare skills without risk of disembowelment. I'd been teaching Makina barehanded grappling techniques for a while now, and lately she started to get a decent feel for the basics. Did you buy her a sword?
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
kendo, Tonto.
Figuring it was time to add a little variety, I brought out the training Tontos as an introduction to Jukendo, a required subject in my line of work.
And also, the inevitable struggle for survival as civilization collapses. Japan is all but covered in jungle. Traitan mastery is the difference between life and death. It sort of goes on like that. Any idea what it might mean?
Oh yeah, she's such a card. Cold sweat slowly trickles down from my armpits.
Gross.
Come on, Amine. You haven't heard of Traitan? From that kid's show on satellite TV? He's ridiculously popular these days. Everyone knows that's Dave.
Really? I've never even heard the name before. Is that really true?
Of course, you know. Hey ho, it's me, Traitan. Listen up, boys and girls, when you're setting up on your pitfall traps, don't forget to smear rotten shit on the tips of your bamboo spears. That doesn't sound like a kid's show.
Yeah, I don't believe you.
Ringing any bells now? Pretty famous line.
Yeah, totally.
I got a bracelet with it on it.
Is it a SpongeBob character? Because otherwise I don't know.
Yeah.
If you say so.
I know it's not from SpongeBob.
I mean, rotten shit?
In other words, Traitan's reminding the boys and girls in front of their TV sets that wars are won through a steady accumulation of minor harassments. The little guy knows his stuff.
What the heck is that? A show for child soldier gorillas in conflict zones?
Well, he does have a gorilla puppet. My attempt to avoid Amine's wrath through spontaneous babble seems to have backfired somewhat. You may have noticed by now, but I'm not really much of a liar.
And remember, kids, the way to overthrow a government is to take back the means of production. Yay!
In any case, don't worry about Makina. I'll personally raise her into a splendid lady capable of returning alive from any hellhole we drop her into. In fact, that's the plan. I'm gonna drop her in some ravine some bush crashed into long ago.
Yeah, you're gonna like leave her alone in the jungle to see if she survives, but secretly be watching her through a sniper scope.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that usually goes, a splendid lady who won't embarrass us anywhere she goes, right? Why drop her into a hellhole? Well, I already tried a happy hole.
Anyway, that's how it is. Later.
Yuuji, this conversation isn't over yet, mister.
I gotta go bathe.
Oh, for crying out loud. But seriously, I wonder what he bought her. Sex doll?
It's gotta be. Tanto, right? Honestly, it's not like we're doing anything to be ashamed of, given enough patient explanation on my part. I'm sure Amane would understand eventually. But where possible, it's best not to advertise this sort of skill. For one thing, the value of a trump card is inversely proportionate to the number of people who are aware of its existence. And while our current pursuit may have gained tentative social sanction as a kind of sport, it's still strongly evocative of lethal weaponry. We have a serious image problem to overcome. Sort of like motorcycles in that respect. There's this nagging, prejudiced assumption that a young person who gets one of these is going to end up using it for evil purposes.
But I'm using it for Knievel purposes.
Yeah. For that exact reason, I think it's necessary to demonstrate that Makina understands the rules and can follow them responsibly. If the girl really knows what she's doing, we'll have a much easier time convincing Amane. Carefully cradling the long, heavy case we'll be using this afternoon, I wait for Makina to finish her bath. That she'll have to take again when she gets home.
Right.
Makina, my friend. A word. It seems Amane started to notice our secret games. From now on, let's play a little more stealthily. Oh, why do we gotta hide? You're really clueless, aren't you? Listen up, Makina. Playing is inherently more fun when you're doing it behind Mommy's back. Or to her front.
This is a little groomer-like.
Right?
Now don't tell Mom about this.
Ooh, gotcha. That's not really an answer to the question, but for some reason I'm totally convinced, you know. All right then, we'll begin where we left off this morning. I will now present you with your rifle.
I was right.
Right in the courtyard where everyone can see.
Of course, right next to the blowjob bush.
Lowering the hefty Duralumin case to the ground, I begin rolling the dials of the combination lock. 9029, remember that. We're going to need it for later.
Mm-hmm.
The lock clicks open as I slide the last digit into place. Couldn't forget this number even if I wanted to. Write it down, seriously. You're going to need it. No, it's not that kind of game, right?
Yeah, no, it never has been.
I sound like the opposite of the astronaut meme.
It's an astronaut pointing a gun at his head.
Never has been.
Yeah.
I swing open the lid of the case, revealing a bed of foam with a number of cutout spaces keeping various components safely in place. The barrel, the action, the magazine. An olive drab stock, and then last but not least, a telescopic sight that set me back a good bit more than the body of the rifle itself.
Body of rifle. Oh, yeah, baby.
Pulling these out of the case, I quickly snap the rifle together, leaving only the magazine unattached. Taking the weapon carefully in both hands, I stand before Makina and read out the number etched on the hand side of the barrel. Your rifle, serial number 112035.
This is my rifle, this is my gun. This is for fighting, this is for fun.
Sound off. Serial number 112035 received. I forcefully thrust out the rifle towards Makina's chest, and she receives it with similar vigor, repeating the serial number.
This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
I will call it 112305. This little ritual helps grind it into the thick heads of new recruits that their rifle is an irreplaceable partner, while simultaneously encouraging a healthy sense of tension. You remember the dry firing practice we did this morning? Oh, yes I do. It doesn't happen all the time. The one where you gotta pull the trigger without making a pinball on top of the elevation knob fall off? Right, that one. Oh, that gets your arms hella tired real quick, you know. I'm aware. Back in the old days, I had to do that until my arms were about ready to fall off. Got up to 2 separate pinballs eventually. I call that a multi-ball. It's another form of isometrics, you know. Need strong muscles or your barrel ends up shaking.
They called me the wizard.
It's not much of a factor with an air rifle like this, but when you're shooting with a real gun and live ammunition...
Oh, okay. So it's one of those, it's an airsoft gun.
Mm-hmm. Your body tends to unconsciously brace itself against the noise and recoil, and you end up pulling the trigger much harder than you intended, sometimes badly throwing off your arm. Your arm!
Oh, my arm!
It's too strong of
I got an
recoil.
arm off.
The exercise in question is aimed specifically at preventing that problem. Alright, this time we'll start with plinking. You're free to fire at the paper target I've set up 25 meters ahead of our position. Start off by zeroing the rifle. Zeroing? In other words, fire test rounds and adjust your scope based on the impact. We did it this morning as well, remember? But once you've detached the sight, there's always going to be a slight shift in the next time you put it back on. Also, even changes in the temperature and atmospheric humidity can shift the point of impact by a few centimeters. When you have the chance, zeroing should always be your first order of business. Hoo-ah! Good. I'll now provision your ammo. For now, you'll be using 6mm .2 biodegradable pellets. 9 rounds in total. Use the first 3 to adjust your scope, the next 3 to aim the center, and the last 3 to confirm the shot. Also, you're going to be shooting with a bipod in a fully prone position.
But my boobs.
Can I be a bipod in fully prone position? What? Right back in the mud? I just took a bath and changed clothes, you know? I only have like 8 of these.
You're right.
Not to worry, I brought a mat this time.
Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'll be helping you with your aim today.
You can lay on me. I'll get muddy.
I unroll the foam mat I'd been carrying behind the rifle case on the ground. Then add a self-inflating air mattress on top, flipping open the intake valve. See, a bit more comfortable than the ground, and your clothes won't get dirty. Ooh, you came well prepared this time.
So wait a second. You don't want me to tell Emily about this, and you brought an air mattress?
And getting in a prone position on a mattress?
I think I need an adult.
Not sure if this is much of a bonus, but I also brought along some camo netting I
That way
ordered
no
online.
one can see where we are. Okay, I'm gonna just go over here for a while.
With all this behind the please help me pedophile bush.
They're all at the park.
Unfortunately, a lot of pedophiles hide there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we probably should change the name.
We could pull off a full-scale ambush if we wanted to. Camo netting? Oh, this is a ghillie suit, ain't it? Snipers are always wearing this sort of stuff in my video games. So cool. Friggin' awesome. Is this the real deal?
R.I.P. Ghost.
It's a replica made for outdoor sports, but this one's pretty damn well made. You could drape it over your head, wrap it around the rifle, or both. Truly helpful purchase. I couldn't help buying one for myself while I was at it. Nice! Nice! This sort of thing gets the blood pumping, you know? Camouflage is extremely useful stuff. If you can use local vegetation to obscure the outline of your body, even pros will have a hard time spotting you.
Yeah, like that bush over there. We should go check out.
The trick is to be careful when you're knotting the leaves together. Make sure none of them get flipped around, and don't use so much that it seems unnatural. No, right! I totally want to try it out. Let's do this thing right now. Huh, you really do love this stuff, don't you?
Well, it makes you happy, so I just pretend to.
Surprisingly enough, Makina has displayed a fierce interest in rifles. Probably developed an interest through bits of trivia she picked up from those video games of hers. Or, you know, me. According to the testimony of Komine Sachi, her primary playmate. Maki-chan absolutely adores those bang-bang shoot-em-up FPS games.
Call of Duty Shoot a Man.
She always shrieks, die, die, and cackles with joy as she plays. And then she teabags them after 360 no-scoping them?
She says Scrub Lord a lot.
Distressed by this apparent manifestation of the virtual generation's much-discussed tendency to trivialize the taking of human life, I
We get
pondered
it, you're smart.
the situation at some length. Ultimately deciding that rather than ducking the issue entirely, my duty was to teach the girl just how serious pulling a trigger really is.
It really was my call of duty.
Having reached that conclusion, I went all out and ordered her a realistic air rifle. Just as with the bicycle, my broader goal is to raise her into a responsible person who treats any tool possessing the ability to cause harm with the wary respect it deserves.
And we're in Japan, so just bringing an air rifle to school is not a worrying thing at all.
Hey, Papa. What's up? No.
Oh my god.
Damn!
Oh my god, she's so cool.
Look at me go. Yeah, it's freaking hot up in these rhinos.
Kind of hot in those rhinos.
Tough it out. 80% of a sniper's job is enduring discomfort. Let's begin with one shot at that paper target. Stand by. Ready to fire!
They're gonna shoot Michiru, aren't they?
Probably. After exhaling 8/10 of the air in her lungs, also known as 4/5, Makina stops breathing altogether, holding her aim steady.
Doesn't sound as impressive.
I let 4 seconds tick by and then quietly issue the order she's waiting for. Fire! As soon as the words leave my mouth, there's the soft sound of an ideally muffled shot, and a round white pellet 6 millimeters in diameter flashes past my spotter scope. Maybe a second or two after Makina pulled the trigger, the BB impacts on the edge of the paper target. Correction. Up 1 click, left 2 clicks.
She looks like she's wearing a teddy bear costume. There's the paws and the big old ear. And...
It's just my floof. Up 1, left 2, clear! Second shot, prepare to fire. Ready on your mark! Fire! The pellet, launched into a powerful backspin by the rifle's hop-up system, traces a lazy parabola through the air and strikes the target. Another miss. Wind's stronger than I thought. Let's try changing ammunition. The 25 pellets will probably do better. Remove your magazine, pull back the bolt, and stick your finger into the chamber to make sure it's empty.
It's hot.
My finger won't fit, you know. Oh, sorry. The visual confirmation is fine. Peer into the bore from the side of the port. If you see light, we're fine. Chamber empty. Alright then, we're switching to 25-gram biodegradable pellets. Install magazine. Vogue chosen. Magazine installed. Send the first round into the chamber. Get in here, you little bitch. First round in the chamber. This time we're going to change our target based on the direction of the wind. Look to the right, up slightly, on that bench. It's a blonde. What's that, a paper cup?
No.
They couldn't put a cup there.
Right?
Your target is a cup filled with clear blue water. If you make the shot, it'll start squirting out all over the place. Good stuff, right? Yes, I'm going to pop a hole in that bitch for sure. Sorry, I added some flair.
Yeah. Some Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm. Woo! Prepare to fire. Ready and waiting. Fire into hole. The BB hops out of the barrel like a stung cat, slapping cleanly into the paper cup 25 meters away. Hit. Well done.
My juice.
Fire 3 more as you are to confirm the shot. Roger that. 3 consecutive. Wait, what the... What's wrong? Instructor, there's someone on the range. Say what? Crossfire! I quickly swing my spotter scope to the right. Sure enough, her whole name?
Oh my god.
Stanley Yelnats is standing
Nice.
a few meters away from the bench with a paperback clutched tightly to her chest, staring at the paper cup with a terrified expression. Serial killer, huh? Damn. She got a book in her hand, you know. She was probably walking over to indulge in some afternoon reading on the bench. Must have got freaked out when the cup just went kaboof all of a sudden out of nowhere. Herm. Makina, we're suspending practice for the moment. Safety on. Roger that. Safety on. After confirming that Makina's engaged the safety properly, I double-check to make sure the bolt handle and trigger are firmly locked. Then pick up the transistor megaphone lying at my side, bring it to my mouth, and hold down the switch. Hey!
Slurpy Gurpy.
Slurpy Gurpy! What the hell do you think you're doing out there, woman? Yumi-chan's looking around all over the place. Girl's about ready to burst into tears.
Shooter.
Christ. Well, from... Jesus. Smoothie King's, okay, perspective, she was just innocently trying to read a book in the shade when a nearby cup abruptly sprung a leak. Just as she was cringing in surprise at the mysterious phenomenon, a disembodied voice started bellowing angrily at her from the bushes. Suppose bursting into tears wouldn't be that unreasonable a reaction.
Oh my god, the pedophile bushes finally started talking.
Hey, can I shoot her? No! I'm gonna go talk to, Snowman for a minute, alright? You're on standby here. Absolutely no firing until I give the go-ahead. You got that? Hoo-ha! Lifting myself up off the air mattress and flinging off my camouflage net, she suddenly sees me. I push out of the bushes and approach our stupefied interloper with a slow but powerful gait. Okay, I need a drink first.
Yep.
All right. Hey there, sleeping bag. Tell me, what is your major malfunction? Did you miss the red flags? Please explain why you wandered onto the range in the middle of a shooting session. Because I didn't fucking know it was going on?
You're wearing a ghillie suit and have a silencer. And it's an airsoft gun, so it's already quiet.
Right now, I'm leaning towards you being an idiot. Buffeted by my best veteran drill sergeant, Roar,
Silverback gorilla.
flinches, stiffening into a defensive posture. Who are you calling a silverbacked gorilla? Are you blind, woman? No, you're wearing camouflage. I jab out an index finger towards the gate posts that mark the entrance to the courtyard, where two conspicuous red flags are gently flapping in the afternoon breeze. When the red flags are up, it means you keep out, and even outside the perimeter, sudden actions that might lead to an accident are forbidden. Just how clueless are you?
Well, everybody ignores red flags around you.
How on earth am I supposed to know any of that? What are you even doing out here? Like I said, shooting practice. It's written on the flags. Do your ears not work either? Shooting practice. Before I can respond, Makina's voice rings out through my earphone.
Not masturbation.
Hey, Papa, that book give me just holding the Samurai's right arm. Looks kind of interesting. Ask if I can borrow it after she's done, alright?
Samurai's right arm. I glance at the paperback in
Seven Samurai.
his hand. It does in fact bear that title. Looking over my shoulder towards Makina's position, the distance between us seems to be a good 30 meters. She seriously read those tiny letters from over there. The scope's good, but it's not that good. Incidentally,
Soul Calibur.
Makina wants to know if you'll lend her that book when you finish reading it. Irisu-san is here as well. Yeah, she's in the bushes. She's in the pedophile bush over there. Can you see her? Where is she? Can't make her out, huh? Right. I guess that's hardly surprising. I know exactly where the girl is, but it's still a struggle to pick her out. Fairly solid bit of camouflage work, if I do say so myself. In the first place, did you get permission from the principal to appropriate our courtyard for this shooting practice of yours? Of course, I went to her first, planning to apply for the establishment of an official club eventually. A shooting club? An air rifle club. Oh, is that right? You seem a little nonplussed, my friend. In that case, let me provide you with a first-hand demonstration. Let's drop back a bit, all right? We already gave her a first-hand demonstration by shooting her drink. I want 20 meters minimum between you and the target.
I want 20 meters minimum between me and you.
I'm not particularly interested, you know. Won't take long, come on. After confirming that scar tissue's withdrawn behind me, I thumb the two-way radio PTT switch on my waist. Makina, release the safety. You have permission to fire. At Yubi-chan? No. I'll designate your target. Aim for the first cup from the left, alright? I'll issue your timing from here. Hoo-ah! Okay, spherical object. Watch that cup 20 meters around ahead of us.
Are you calling me fat?
What the fuck? I Pass.
Samhain.
What?
Samhain.
Oh, okay. A pair of binoculars. Point out the cup in question and once again hold down the button for my wireless. That is the sound it makes. Ready and fire. Maybe 2 seconds after my order, a low-pitched rapport rings out nearby. A second later, the pellet strikes home, dead center on the leftmost cup. She hit it. Hit! Well done, Makina. That was Irisu-san just now? Sorry, that's right. Pretty decent skills, don't you think? Wait, where is she even shooting from? What? We're practically on top of her and you still haven't noticed? You suck. Huh? Is she nearby? Alright, Makina, that's enough for now. Remove the magazine, confirm the chamber's empty, engage the safety, and take off your camouflage. Affirmative! A few seconds after the end of the transmission, as
Scare factor.
looks around the area
Is it
nervously.
Scare Factory? Am I thinking of Fear Factor?
Fear Factor, Scare Factory.
Is Scare Factory the show that I'm thinking of? There is like a show where it's like scary pranks.
Yeah,
What is that called?
something like that.
I feel like it was Scare Factory. It might be Scare Factory. I don't know.
A clump of bushes 2 or 3 meters behind us rustle noisily. Makina slowly gets to her feet, still cloaked in her ghillie suit.
Scare Tactics. That's what it was.
Okay. Yee! Calm yourself, severance package. Makina, lose the camo and get that paint off. No, hold on a sec, okay? Not wearing panties. Again. The girl throws off her camouflage net, and then retrieves a wet wipe from the pouch around her waist and begins to vigorously scrub at her face. No, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Irisu-san, what on earth are you... I'm a person. Like the man said, shooting practice. How you like them apples? Shocked much? Well, anyone would be a little startled by a lump of grass suddenly standing up behind them. Grrr.
Oh, damn it.
She made me so upset that I gurmed again.
Dad, I gurmed.
That's not what I was talking about, you know. I wanted you to be surprised at my sharp shooting skills. Yes, that was certainly surprising as well. But I see. So this is what you wanted my computer what you used my computer to buy the other day then.
So I'm on some kind of government list, obviously. You bought
Yeah.
a gun.
No, it's just a BB gun.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Toys these days are certainly impressive. I'm amazed it could hit such a small target at this distance. I won't deny that the gun performs well, but that was a 25-meter outdoor shot, you know. If you're gonna praise anything, it should be Makina's skills. Darn straight, I got them skills to pay the bills. Chizu said I'm the kind of girl who responds best to positive enforcement. You know? Head pets. That's nice, but I'm afraid I don't quite grasp just how much of an accomplishment this really is. In that case, you want to give it a shot yourself? No. Oh yeah, now that's a plan! Once you give it a try, Yubi-chan, you'll totally understand just how friggin' hard it is.
Let me put it into something you'd understand. It's like if you were to interject in the middle of a conversation instead of right at the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Impossible. Exactly.
It's kind of you to invite me, but I'm going to have to pass on rolling around in the mud. If you'd like to compete at something, I'd prefer to sit down and play a game of chess over tea. So, why didn't you give me a British voice?
We didn't know. You're not blonde.
You really are an indoor type to the core, aren't you? That sort of remark is exactly why people call you brutally boring broad, you know, and not by your actual name. Excuse me, Irisu-san. Would you mind telling me exactly who refers to me in that way? Oh, well, I guess it's mostly just me. Oh, is that so? Goodness. I don't think I've ever seen a criminal confess quite so enthusiastically before.
Well, lucky for me, you brought a box knife to a gun match.
Owie! Snoop! Snoop Dogg!
Snoop, whoop.
You're gonna rip my face off! Uncle! Uncle! Do you promise not to say that again? Yeah, shut up, ugly! I'll poke your stick with your hole until you cry for mercy. Yeah, I'm sorry! I'm sorry, so sorry! I was totally wrong! Yeah, my mistake! I won't say it again! Ah! Makina's a bad girl! I've seen the area of my waist. Super sorry! Forgive me! Come now, Snoop Dogg. The girl's demonstrated remorse. Why not show a little pity? Unbelievable. Am I imagining things, or has it gotten darker outside?
Right?
Or has Irisu-san's mouth gotten progressively filthier since
that's just your TV.
since the day you arrived at this school? What? Is this my fault? Well, I guess you might have a point. But no, the pain. I swear, this woman wouldn't know a proportional response if it bit her on the ass. Only kids are the friggin' worst. Irisu-san. Yes, sorry, I was wrong again. Makina was a very bad girl. That's right, good girl. As for you, Kazumi-kun, do try not to be a bad influence on the girl. Please. I am trying, you know. I do scold her every once in a while. But she just likes it.
Yeah, I call her a good girl and she gets all turned on. I call her a bad girl, she gets all turned on. I don't know what to do.
Listen to what I'm saying to you. Before you worry about scolding her, focus on improving your own behavior.
So I'm a bad girl?
Herm. In other words, lead by example, not just instruction. Impressive insight, sugar mama. Ah, so you do understand. All the more reason for you to reflect on your failures then. What the heck, Yumi-chan? You're leaving already? Let's play together.
Let's play.
That's quite all right. Please feel free to carry on without me. Spaghetti, you have a second before you go. Yes. Come on, no need for the full power scowl. That was only 10% of my power. I just wanted to ask if you could keep quiet to the others about this. I don't particularly mind, but would you at least tell me why? Till we get this officially sanctioned as a safe extracurricular sport, I don't want to deal with people's prejudiced misconceptions. That's the only reason. Suho-san's already caught the scent, you know. I'm aware I asked Makina to turn a blind eye for now. So if 4 of us already know, then that's... I mean...
Wait, you said Makina?
Did I?
Yeah. I was like, wait a second, what's happening? Abade. Yeah, that's Makina. Or wait, did you, or did my brain just hear you wrong?
Suho-san. Amane.
Yeah, but I think you said, I'm aware I asked Makina.
Oh, I might have.
I don't know. I might just be losing my mind too.
Okay, look. Have you really thought this over? If Suho-san knows, who else are you so determined to hide this from? The principal gave her approval, didn't she? That leaves only Matsushima-san and Komine-san unaware of your activities. What's going to be so problematic about those two finding out?
Those two seem to want my dick the most. That's not true.
No! Come to think of it, you kind of got a point there. Right. Even if we told Mishuru, she'd probably fire back. Okay, so what? Do whatever you want. I mean, it's not like I'm interested in the slightest. So you must not... So can you not waste my time telling me? Just die already, why don't you, Baka? Or something along those lines. Building up such a head of steam that the whole Tsunere train ends up flying off the rails in a burst of verbal violence. And as for Sachi, we'd probably get... Shooting? Somehow the world has a rather lewd resonance, does it not? Just wrote, what do you plan to be shooting into what? Goodness, my loins are all aflutter.
She's just like me for real.
Or something along those lines. Leaving all within earshot, reflexively pressing palm to forehead and groaning in anguish. Okay, is there not a single halfway normal person in this damn place? Do you know where you are? You are including yourself in that remark, I presume? Like what? Are you seriously just realizing this now? Like 130 hours into playing? Fair enough. This place really is a den of eccentrics, isn't it? No wonder I fit in. In the first place, isn't keeping your shooting secret the more dangerous choice? These red flags, was it? Everyone needs to know they signify do not enter. Such procedures are hardly meaningful unless we're all aware of them, yes? What's this? A sensible argument? Ah, I'm defenseless. And when you talk like that, you almost seem like a reasonable person. Hella mysterious. I hate you. Nah, the cold shoulder, eh? Yeah, figures. Okay, shutting up now. In any case, even if you opt to conceal the precise nature of your activities, explain the red flag rule thoroughly. That's all I have to say. I can't deny that it seems we were a little sloppy in our safety procedures. Guess there's nothing for it. Time to break out the ultimate weapon.
I summon Bahamut.
Ultimate weapon? What's that, a missile? No, try again. Okay, so something infinitely approaching missiledom? Why are you so caught up on this missile thing? When it comes to ultimate weapons, nothing is more ultimate than the mouth gun. I need an adult. What the heck is a mouth gun? Treating an empty gun as though it were loaded with live ammo. Lining up your shots as normal, then yelling bang bang instead of firing. No. So it's like putting yourself into battlefield mode or whatever. I don't know, I play Call of Duty. That's right. And when you're not actually firing rounds, anything becomes a legitimate target. Image training's pretty good stuff, you know? We could climb up to the roof of the Eastern School building and aim at the principal's office.
This sounds like a bad idea.
Ooh, bang bang Makina gang. Sniping Chizu, eh? Oh, that'll be a little fun. Hell, since we're not actually firing, we could even go for an even longer distance shot, like, sniping the principal's office from that high spot on the beach, maybe. No, I guess that might be pushing it. When you get over 1,200 meters, 7.62 millimeters isn't really gonna cut it. Well, for starters, how about we practice shooting that thing? What thing? Makina's stubby finger indicates a twin-tailed bottle blonde, apparently strolling back from the convenience store, obliviously sucking away at a half-unwrapped ice cream bar. My SpongeBob.
Right? I was gonna say. She found the SpongeBob ice cream.
Not a bad idea. Alright, Makina, camo on, then get into position to fire. Nooah! Distance to target, 70 meters. Wind from right to left. Up 3, right 2. Target movement speed, estimated 4 kilometers per hour. Adjust your windage 2 millimeters further to the right. I got a bead, Captain. Don't aim for the head. Smack it right into that meager little chest. Got that? Ready. Fire. Bing! Having successfully eliminated the menace of a pseudo-Tsunere invasion, we proceeded to mess around blowing imaginary holes in various targets through precision mouth gun sniping. She died that day.
Yeah. Oh, I accidentally left a bullet in.
Oh, gosh. That was a lot of me talking.
Yeah, like like Amine was there at the beginning, but it was all your characters after that.
I'm out of breath. I'm hungry.
It's perfect, because we're done.
We are?
Well, with this episode.
Oh, okay.
Just make sure let's hope the audio actually saved this time. Yes! Which one do we load?
And then they lost everything.
Yeah.